sit down to get on the phone, and Kevin freaking sticks a giant. Yeah. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the road. I wanted to take a couple minutes today and just let's visit about some fishing. I'm quarantined. I'm in my bedroom right now. I'm just hanging out. If you notice, I'm in a sweater in April, which is really weird. But we had this weird cold front come through and knocked it all the way down into the 40s. And so it's kind of chilly and just stuck in the house. And so I wanted to talk through one of my favorite ways to fish. I had the privilege to go out to a little lake not too long ago, and we had a lot of fun. First thing in the morning, got right on this big school of fish and just laid into him for a while. Now, in all transparency, I did not film the entire thing. I actually started, didn't have any plans to film, got out there, didn't know what we were gonna do, found this MEGAWAD of bass and just started laying into them. By that time, the school had already sort of been beat up a little bit. And so my guess is there's 30 to 40 bass down there, and there were some big ones in the mix. So a lot of fun. I want to cut over to the footage, and I want to walk you through a little bit about what we were doing. We were offshore fishing in April, which most people do not take advantage of. They're up on the banks. They're up there catching spawning fish, with those were there too. But let's jump into this, and I'll kind of walk you through what we were doing.
So that morning, before we even started recording, had probably caught maybe 30 fish. The reason we were so successful is because we kept changing lures, kept keeping something fresh in front of them. So if we caught one on a crankbait or a scrounger or a worm, we would maybe go a cast or two without getting bit. We'd pick something else up and fire it out there. And we also had sort of a 1-2 punch. You notice in the videos, just as you watch this, I'm more or less going to throw the power moving baits, and Kevin's going to be throwing the slower finesse baits, jigs and worms and stuff. And ironically, and maybe even appropriately, he ended up catching the bigger fish. I caught maybe more, but he caught the better quality. So something to keep in mind, always mix it up. If you've got two people, keep one person that's got those fast moving baits, because really at the end of the day, Kevin might not have gotten those big bites had I not kept that school fired up. So it's important, if there's two in the boat, keep those fish moving, keep them engaged, and don't slow down on them.
Yep. Oh gosh. I gotta get that jig. Whatever reason, now there's another one.
We've been fishing this school for a while, and been catching them on a bunch of different things, and just kind of wanted to do a little cleanup action. So, a little Texas rig Magnum trick worm, first cast, hammered. Dude, they're hitting it so hard, like they're hitting it and running away with it.
Yeah.
Like they're competing against a bunch of fish.
And that's something that we saw pretty consistently. Whenever we got them fired up, we'd kind of relocate them. They're moving around chasing bait constantly. So I mean, you just find them, get them fired up again, get them eating, catch one, get the rest of them competing over whatever that was that they were fighting over. Now all of a sudden they're fighting over your bait, and something like this happens.
Good one? Oh, nice.
We got a double. I'm flipping.
Oh, no.
Big one came off.
Dang it. That was awesome.
That's the way that happens, eh?
Somebody would have brought their net.
I don't know. That's the small one. I had a 3.5 pounder on there with it. Dang it.
One of the ways that I was working towards keeping them fired up was I'd throw that scrounger out, let it sink to the bottom, and I would do this burn it, stop, burn it, stop, burn it, stop, burn it, stop. And I was getting bit over and over again, sometimes multiple times in a cast, but I couldn't get them to commit. But what I was doing is I was getting excited to the point that I would pick up my crankbait, and in a cast or two, I would catch a fish, or Kevin would throw his worm in behind me and he would catch a good one. So just consistently keeping them going like that was the key.
Cool. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
There's a good one.
We did 5.5 pounds. That's a good one. Nice, Kev.
Oh, bye.
Freaking 7-pounder.
That was dumb. That was way bigger than I thought it was.
Yep.
Way bigger than I thought it was.
Tried to do it for the camera. The camera didn't see it. Sorry, man.
Sorry, folks at home.
Eventually it slowed down to the point where changing techniques didn't really get us more bites. We had a few baits that they would consistently eat, that being the crankbait and the scrounger for me, and Kevin continually got bit on his jig and the Nico. And so we just would change up how we worked it. So instead of a hop with the jig, he would do a hop drag. Or with the crankbait, I would go from just a steady retrieve to actually burning it in basically as fast as I could without it rolling. So let us go ahead and rip on 4 or 5 more fish here as it kind of started to slow down.
That scrounger, doing that like that, that's a good way to get them fired up.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep that on. Got one? Whitey.
Oh, Whitey, that means there's a 10-pounder for each of these. Yeah, definitely is. I'm sure there's a type of fishing that I don't like catch.
Chunk. Do what? Yeah. We've caught way more bass than we have sand bass.
I've been doing this since the middle of February.
Yeah.
Freaking slammed it though, way at the end of the gap.
There's so many down there. Right there. Right in that section, right there.
Might have caught those. Way out there. I bet they're all over this whole thing.
Good one?
Yeah. Pretty good one. Better than. Ow. Little one. Yeah, I'm screaming it. Bring my line, guy. Ow! Oh, sorry about your gills. God, they're so healthy. Just fat, feeding up. Come up here and fight it if you don't mind. Like it, Nelly. I cuddly. Nice.
that time I caught like a 5-pounder off this?
Which one? Every trip we've ever taken out here?
Off that buoy?
Oh. No? That surprised me.
I was more like talking about the time that's about to happen right now.
Oh. We've got a lot of 5-pounders at this bridge, so. You broke off one, what, how big was it? I think it was a 14-pounder?
Oh yeah. I literally cried.
Oh, wait. It's a giant.
It's giant.
No, saved my worm, or my weight. Ugh, got tongue. Three-pounder. What?
Huh?
Oh, you don't want to leave now?
Well, it's funny. We were in the 5-minute range, and then boom.
It is a neat one.
Oh, hi. Over there. Right up, that was right where I saw those fish. Right on top of that high spot.
I want to get a cast in with the jigs. I thought I was fishing. Pretty decent one.
Shook my worm. I'm supposed to do that. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Not as big. Still good though.
Oh my gosh. How did you not eat that? Okay.
Hammered it.
I don't know how I didn't catch the one that hit mine. It hit on the bottom, just thumped. The wind's blowing that way. We're just fooling around here. There's a school of 2.5 to 3-pounders. I think we're gonna go out and catch some giants here now. I don't want to jinx it, but there's some big ones out here, and if they're biting like this here, they're probably biting like this other places where there's big ones. I mean, Kevin lost a 7-pounder because he tried to boat flip it for you guys, but
Like
what
a
it
dummy.
is.
Like a dummy.
So eventually we did leave this spot, and we tried it again a couple times throughout the day and just never could get those fish fired up. I don't know if we wore out the whole school or most of them, or they moved somewhere. We just didn't track them back down. But we ended up going to other parts of the lake. We went and did some sight fishing, caught some pretty decent ones on beds. We went and did a lot of frogging, caught a bunch on frogs in shallow grass, no size, but a lot of fish. Overall, just had a blast, but we did manage to catch one really good one today. Sit down to get on the phone, then Kevin freaking sticks a giant. I don't know where it is. It's a good one though, it just jumped. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one. I'm not gonna boat flip it with a spin
Don't
rod.
bow flip it. This might be the same fish.
Could be.
Got it on Nico at the moment. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, it's over here now. Yeah, she gone.
It's an 8-pounder.
Is it?
Yeah.
Come on, baby. I saw it jump. That's a big one. God, it's so weird. I saw the womp womp on your rod.
Big one. Wish you had your net.
Come on, man.
It'll be fun to whip it though.
Be good for TV, right? I'm gonna have it on camera even if it jumps off. Lord willing, it won't jump off. Holy.
Flip flop. Oh, I'm gonna break my rods.
What a mess, man.
things we do for this moment. He was fighting 2-pounders the same way a minute ago, so
This ain't no 2-pound.
this is not a 2-pounder. Yeah. Yes.
Boom, baby.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
That is a big one.
Woo!
That is a big one.
Woo!
That's 7 pounds all day long.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a tank. Nice fish, Kevin.
Thanks, man.
Come on, baby.
Woo! Yes.
Don't give up.
All right.
Don't give up. Now the big ones are starting to bite. All right, take some pictures. We're gonna let her go.